This video is brought to you by Robinhood, the investment brokers that let you buy stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies all commission free. There's still time to take advantage of this historic 2020 stock market crash, and if you sign up using the link in the description below, you'll instantly receive one free stock without even depositing a single penny. No, this still isn't my real portfolio, but I have added to it a bit, like the stock on your screen. That's Cody. They make like makeup, Revlon, stuff like that. What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. The Don 1000 Revenge Reunion Tour is officially starting now. You guys know I've been talking about these crazy Numeron cards that are going to be released in the next Battles of Legends in July and how powerful they are, and I want to show you guys how easily you can incorporate this stuff into other strategies. You guys know at this point, I believe this is going to be the next big splashable engine. I think it's personally better than the Red Eyes Dart Dragoon engine, but I mean, I guess to each its own. We both know that they're very strong. I feel like going first, the engine's broken. I think going second, the engine's broken. And you can see right here from my good buddy Stardust Yu-Gi-Oh! Always coming up with these crazy off-the-wall decks. Shout outs to you, man. The link for his channel, of course, will be in the description below. He's even combined heroes and the Numeron cards. It just kind of shows you guys how easily you can incorporate these Numeron cards into basically anything. If you want to go control, if you want to go with a combo deck, and when you combine these two archetypes together, basically, I mean, it's just kind of simple. You get to Numeron network as quickly as possible, drop S0 on the field, make it so your opponent ain't playing no Yu-Gi-Oh! And then in this build particularly, he can just transition to the hero cards and kill his opponent, because we know heroes have a ton of offense. Heroes can have their board broken very easily with things like, you know, Evenly Match and Dark Ruler No More, but if you're going for S0, guess what? You ain't got to worry about that problem, because your opponent can't activate those cards. So that's what he's going to go for in this first turn. By the way, people were talking about this card, Memories of Hope, in my first video. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I didn't know what the hell y'all was talking about. I was like, yeah, Memories of Hope. I totally know what that is. Cap, I didn't know what the hell this card was. But anyways, it allows you to draw 4 cards just off a single copy. Who doesn't like to go +3 by activating a draw card? I mean, you guys thought that card, Demise Draw 3, was good. Nope, Konami turns out only drawing 4 cards is good. So we're just gonna go ahead and get like 8 cards in our hand, because why not? At the same time, we're gonna make the S0. Opponent ain't playing no Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is actually quite sad. My man has all the break your board cards. He has Mind Control, Double Evenly. He's got Desires to draw more cards. This could have been an excellent go second hand, but it don't matter if you can't activate any of those cards. Now, luckily, he did get, I'll admit, he got one of the outs to the S0, and this thing is unlimited, or excuse me, it's limited status. So don't be trying to rely on top decking down a Wrestler Pankatrops or getting to this card. If this card was at 3, maybe this would be a little easier to deal with, but it's at 1. This can obviously be summoned and you can attack over it. Technically, I guess Cyber Dragons maybe might not have a problem because they do have the OG Cyber Dragon. But the thing is, and this is the point, number 1, you only used 1 card to do this play, and number 2, I still think very similarly to if you get Kaiju'd, it's still mission accomplished. Your opponent didn't really play any Yu-Gi-Oh! In their first turn. They just summoned a Prankatrops and then attacked. They didn't get to draw any cards. They didn't get to take your monster. They didn't get to do anything else that they wanted to do, and they definitely ain't gonna OTK you. So now you can just basically go into the other part of your deck. In this case, that's going to be heroes, and you can just kind of let the heroes take over. Now, I'm not sure if I would have used, you know, the Downer Wrestler Pankatrops like that, but honestly, I don't think it would have mattered because Stardust Yu-Gi-Oh! Has access to Malicious Bane. If I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, Malicious Bane cannot be destroyed by card effects, so it would have been able to just beat over the Downer Wrestler Pankatrops anyways, and I don't think he would have had an out, although, I don't know, maybe he could have survived and evenly matched them, but in all honesty, I think he was going to get OTK'd regardless. But to me, this is the scariest thing about this engine potentially, is just you can just see like half the decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Splashing it in, going first, getting free wins, and then just not really having much of a downside if they don't hit it. I mean, you don't have to run Memories of Hope. You don't have to go full, you know, Planet Pathfinder. So this is just obviously super extra if you want to go all balls to the wall. This is the second duel. This is going to show you just kind of going second. Now look, his opponent's really not going to do anything. He's playing Cubics, for God's sakes, and Cubics is also not a go first deck. It doesn't really do that much going first. Well, actually, you know, there was a time where Cubics could do some spicy stuff with, I think, Unification and Cubic, this guy, man, I'm forgetting his name, Duza, yeah, where you could kind of continually link up. There was some link climbing stuff that you could actually do, but obviously he didn't do any of that. Now he's also playing Memories of a Hope, which is kind of dank, but this just kind of shows, even if you're going second, and just disregard the draw 4 because it's largely inconsequential. If your opponent just has a monster on board, and again, you can take this duel, essentially with a grain of salt. I'll show you guys a better duel after this. But if you're able to run over one monster, and it's never going to be this easy, but essentially you just OTK your opponent because all your little dudes progressively get bigger. In this case, they're all 2,000 attack. When you go for the link, or the link 2, when you go for the rank 2 exceed, and it comes back, it actually does burn damage as well. So even if you don't kill your opponent with battle damage, you're probably just going to kill them with the burn damage. And I've actually seen people use like 1 day a piece where they'll do all their battle damage, then they'll activate 1 day a piece, which it's a limited card, so it's not going to be a reliable combo or anything like that. Their opponent can't do any damage to them, and then when this guy comes back, the burn damage is back online because the burn damage is only nullified until the end of the opponent's turn. This will kind of show you guys a better example of like going second. So this is the Numeron card linked up with like Mech Knights and Invoked, and you know, Invoked and Mech Knight has always kind of had a lot of synergy with those two, but kind of shows you how you can easily play through even boards with a decent amount of disruption. So we got Pendulum Magicians, as Triff would say, tier -1000, Pendulum's best deck. Anyways, his opponent does, I think the Jackal is going to get some counters and he's going to go for Herald of the Arclight. It's not terrible. Now, I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest negation board the world's ever seen, but definitely has 2 negates, so you know, maybe like 10 less than what Triff would have been able to get. He's gonna go for the Mech Knight or the Mech Knight Orcus Girsu. I personally would negate this, so I don't want my opponent going for Orcus combo on me off a normal summon. He will negate that with Jackal. Then he's going to go, I think, Terraforming for Meltdown. His opponent says, "Ah, crap, he's playing Invoked. I better make sure that he doesn't get Alistair." And actually, you know, you could say, Cap, that was a bad play, but honestly, he already has Invocation. So if you let your opponent summon Alistair and you negate the Alistair effect, they might actually have Invocation, and then you'd be in a bad position. So he negates the field spell, and then this is where things just go bad. He lets him resolve that Numeron network. Out come the 4XC monsters, and it's actually better when your opponent has a big board of monsters like this because you have more things to attack into, thus you can keep amplifying their effects and you can keep activating them over and over again. And sometimes you can get these guys up to 8,000, so right there, they're all at 2,000 damage. Now they're all going to be, I believe, at 4,000. Now they're going to go up to like 8,000, and you just keep attacking your opponent over and over and over. Oh my goodness, 16,000. Oh, this is just ridiculous. I didn't even realize they got the 16,000 in this duel. And again, even if your opponent has monsters you can't run over, it doesn't matter. These guys can't be destroyed by battle. You just attack into monsters just to keep cranking their attacks up. Like, it doesn't even matter. You can run into a high attack monster like 3 times just to get your guys high enough so that you can one-shot a little monster. So honestly, there's a little bit of 200 IQ. Instead of just running over the little monster at the beginning, you make your guys get to like 16,000, then you one-shot their monster, which I guess technically he could have done here, but maybe he just didn't know about the play. Anyways, he's gonna go ahead and go for the rank 2. And then, you know, when this guy comes back, it's pretty much over. I think his opponent's going to get hand trapped twice, which obviously is difficult for most decks, but, you know, Pendulum's getting hand trapped twice probably doesn't feel good. And once the rank 2 comes back, it doesn't matter what your, you know, opponent's life points are. If they're under like 2,000, they're just going to end up being burned for games. So it just kind of shows you guys that, yeah, to me, this is a very strong engine going first. It's a very strong engine going second. And I feel like it's so easy to just incorporate into a multitude of decks, whether you're going to play a pure Numeron build, which I think only like anime fans are going to play that. But if you want to play a Mech Knight Invoke build, you can see here, not that many cards do you really need to dedicate. I mean, he's playing 3 copies of your Numeron wall, which, by the way, even if you're going second, during your opponent's turn, you can activate this card from your hand. So you can activate this card and get the field spell on field before your opponent can even use negation to negate it. So that's another thing that makes this kind of broken. If you're always going to be blinding seconds and you know your opponent's playing like Adamanticators and they're going to get a bunch of negates and stuff like that, just activate this before they get the negates and then get your Numeron network online, and then, you know, they might not actually have a way of stopping it. But yeah, I think he's just committing like 9 cards here. in the main deck. I would argue you don't really need to run 3 copies of Numeron Calling. You probably could get away with 1 or 2. If you want to be risky, like a Brilliant Fusion engine where we were just playing 1 Garnet, I think you could actually just run 1 copy. Just hope that you don't hard draw it, otherwise you're probably just kind of screwed. No, actually, it doesn't matter if you hard draw it, because yeah, you can just activate it from your hand. But yeah, you probably only need to run 1 copy of this. So basically, it's like a 7-card engine, I guess you could say. And then you have Stardust Yu-Gi-Oh's Hero build, which of course I totally did not save. Oh my goodness, I'm tilted. I'm sorry about this. Usually I have it all in order, but right now I just don't. Don't worry, when you go to download the deck, in the description below, of course it will be in order. Both decks will be in order, but this build's kind of the same thing. Well, no, this one runs Planet, Pathfinder, and stuff like that. I don't really know if that's that necessary, but he's pretty much just selling out, saying I always want to get to this, turn 1. The reason that I wouldn't necessarily advocate this is because this build, if it goes second, is just going to get trashed by every meta deck. I don't think Heroes is super strong going second. I feel like if you were just committing like 7 cards to the engine, you still have a pretty good chance of getting to those cards because you have terraformings, potentially set rotation if you want to, but you're not really sacrificing much consistency from like your core strategy. You know what I mean? Anyways, if you guys are of course interested, the decks will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you've not already and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.